Females have striped butts, males have black butts, and they're smaller.
Okay, this is day 0, where the female fly right there is laying its eggs into the media, which is what they eat. Move on to day 1, where the egg is hatching into larva. This is still in the media. Day 2, we have the larva, and it's in its first instar, which is just one of the stages of its life as being larva. Day 3, the larva is in its second instar, and it's just eating a lot and stuff. Day 5, the larva is now in its third instar and still in the media, and on the end you can kind of see its pupils starting to form some. Day 7, we have the larva in its roaming stage, and it's still in the media. It's just kind of making trails and stuff, moving around a lot, and I don't know, it's doing whatever it wants, I guess. 4 or 5 days later, day 11 to 12, the larva is emerging from the media out of its encasing, which is called the pupa, and becoming a fly.
Fruit flies have a small, orangish body with red eyes, 6 legs. These pictures are wild-type flies. Our Apteris don't have wings, so they can't fly.
We're now going to anesthetize our fruit flies right here. First, we're just going to put our vial into a freezer. And now we wait for 5 to 8 minutes. Okay, it has now been 5 to 8 minutes, and our fruit flies are anesthetized. Now you can do whatever you want with them. You can put them on a petri dish and look at them or whatever. Take them out, look at them. They are paralyzed. Okay, I am now going to talk about how to correctly culture fruit flies. First, I'll talk about making the fruit flies vial, which is, most importantly, you need media, which is their food, and it looks like this. It's kind of blue stuff. It's made from powder being mixed with water, and that's what the flies eat. And I'm going to talk about how to transfer flies from one vial to another. To do that, you anesthetize both of the vials, and after you've anesthetized them, you can do whatever you want with them. You can take out whichever ones you want to cross over to another vial or whatever, because they can't move and stuff. And correct labeling. That's always important. And the label should look like that. And it has your group name on it and date and what kind of flies they are. And you can just stick it on the vial wherever, pretty much, as long as it looks neat. And to kill flies, you have to anesthetize them like you do normally. And after you're done that, you put them in the fly morgue, which is right here. That is just kind of oily kind of stuff in the bottom. It's just after you anesthetize the flies, you put them in there and they drown in it, and that's how they die. And lastly, picking males and females for crosses. You just anesthetize the vial, whichever one you want, the wild type or the mutant that you have, and you just anesthetize whichever one you want. And to pick out the males or females, you just dump out the anesthetized flies onto a petri dish and look at it with a microscope, or not a microscope, but a magnifying glass. Just look onto a magnifying glass and look at the ones you want to take, and you just brush them off the petri dish into your new vial of your cross. Go. Okay. I am going to talk about crossing our fruit flies. First, I'll explain a cross, and a cross would be, or our cross is, we're doing a wild type and mutant. Our mutant is Apteris, and our cross is going to end up being the female wild type and male mutant. And first of all, that happens when you have your vial of your wild type and your vial of your mutants, and you anesthetize them like I showed you in one of our earlier videos. And after you've anesthetized them, you would take them out and put them on a petri dish, and you would take out your female wild type that you want, and however many you want, and take out your male mutants. And once you have your however many flies you want from each one, you put them in a new vial which you have made up with new media in it and a screen and stuff, and you let them cross in there, and they have another generation. So that cross ends up looking like this. It's called the F1 cross, the first generation, and that, that is our male mutant, like right here. That's our male mutant AA, and this is our female wild type, which is right there, female wild type, big A, big A, and it ends up being you have 4 wild type because the wild type's dominant, but they all have a recessive trait for mutant Apteris. So you just end up with 4 wild type fruit flies. And now here's the second generation, the F2 generation. And with this, we just did 2 of the flies from the first one, which is right here. We took a big A, little a, and big A, little a, big A, little a, big A, little a. And when you put them together, when you cross them, you get one big A, which is Apteris, or it's wild type. It's wild type. You get one wild type, homozygous dominant, and you get 2 heterozygous dominant they are also wild type, and you get 1 mutant recessive, homozygous recessive. So you end up having just 3 wild type flies and 1 mutant, the Apteris. And if you've ever wondered what happens when you put an Apteris and a Var-B together, I did that right here. This is our Apteris, and this is our Var-B, or whatever, our Var-B, both mutants being crossed. And this is the double crossed Punnett square, and double factor cross. And this is the male's always on the top, which is right here. That's the male. The female's on the side. And these are the gametes over here, which is you get from foiling these. You have to foil these, like in math class. And that's what you get. You get those, and you put those right along here. And that's how you know what's going on with all the genetics and stuff. You end up just only using 4 of the squares because all the other ones are the same thing. It's the same pattern. And you end up just having, what do you get? You get a homozygous dominant and another homozygous dominant. And this one's half hetero and half homozygous, and this one's hetero. For whatever, you end up getting a bunch of different kinds of fruit flies. You get some wild types, and you get some Var-B and some Apteris. And that's it. Okay, well, this is about future crosses. This year, our crosses, we just did wild type and Apteris and Var-B, which you guys won't be doing next year. But for whatever next year, you guys will be able to use white body, vestigal, which is stumpy wings, and yellow body, and cotton-grown wild type. And I don't know, you have a lot more different different things to do, different crosses. Should be a lot more interesting than what we did this year. you could have a bunch of weird stuff. You could have stumpy winged yellow stuff and stumpy winged white ones and yellow and white ones. You can, who knows? You might get some purple and pink ones, but yeah, you'll have a lot more fun with it probably.